What's up, Fever Nation? In the league's desperate attempt to diminish the rise and shine of their best player, of one of their best players, Caitlin Clark, the front office of the W has resorted to stat stealing. As we watch this video, these are the two instances of the 10 assists Caitlin dished out during the Mystics game on Friday. These are the 10 assists. Now, of the 10 assists, these were two that they micromanaged. They looked at it under a microscope, as if they're trying to find an amoeba to determine whether or not these two plays qualified as an assist. Let's take a look at this. In this first play, Caitlin is pushing tempo. She's bringing the ball up the floor. She dishes back to Kelsey Mitchell. According to the statistician, they said they were too close and it was borderline a handoff. This isn't football. Why are you trying to make this sport football? Just so you can take away this stat from Caitlin Clark. If this were anybody else, would you be doing this? If this were Alyssa Thomas and the statistician was white and she yelled racism, do you think they would correct the mistake? Exactly. That's the point. This is nonsense. But only in the W are you going to see plays like this being questioned. Only in the W, ladies and gentlemen. This is getting tragic. What they're doing to try and diminish this young lady's career. Now they're resorting to stat stealing to try and say she didn't break a record that night. 30 points, 10 assists, only player in the W to do that twice. Can you imagine the W been in existence as long as it has and no one has done this, not even once? So in order for it not to be Caitlin Clark, first name on the list of this record, they're going to wipe away 2 assists, 2 legitimate assists. There is no one in basketball that will look at this play and say this is not an assist. There's no one that they can find, unearth, dig up, or locate with GPS or Chat GPT that will say this is not an assist. And if they do, I want you to look at the gender of this person who says it is. I'm sorry to put y'all out there like that, but it is obvious. I dare, if a man, I'll do an apology video if a man says this is not an assist, because only in the W will a woman do something like this. Only a woman is going to say this. I'm just being honest. I'm sorry, ladies. I just got to be honest. Only a woman will say this. If a guy whether he's played basketball or not, now this guy will have to be like from Area 51, first time ever watching a game, and this play happens, and he says, well, I don't think that's an assist. I can accept that from him. I'll accept that from him. But for people in the know to say otherwise is absolutely ridiculous. And here is our second play, ladies and gentlemen. Caitlin Clark starts at the top of the key near the elbow, penetrates into the paint where she draws a lot of attention, dishes out to Mo Billings in the corner. Now, it is alleged by this statistician, and I want to know where this person is sitting to make this call. She says this, I'm sorry, ladies, if I'm wrong. They say, and this is not about pronouns or anything. I'm just not. We don't know who it is. I'm alleging it is a lady. They say whoever made this call. They say the ball was tipped by Lauren Betts, and therefore it disqualifies this play as an assist. Have you ever heard of such nonsense? Have you ever heard of such foolishness at this level? Only in the W, ladies and gentlemen, only in the W is this kind of nonsense tolerated. What difference does it make if the ball is tipped? The pass made it to the intended individual. What happens on the way doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She was passing the ball. Now, if a teammate, like in the words of Your Highness Stephanie White, intercepts and then passes it to Mo Billings, the quote-unquote favorite passing of Stephanie White, the hockey pass, yes, that's not an assist for Caitlin Clark. The person who made the last pass before the person who took the shot or layup got the ball from, that's who gets the assist. That's not the case in this situation. It's clearly not the case. Clearly. We need to know who this person is. They need to put whoever, the news, media, you all need to put this person on Front Street, make them come in front of a camera and justify why they made these calls. Do not let these people sit back in relative obscurity and get away with this foolishness. You put this person on Front Street and put a mic and a podium and millions of reporters in front of them and ask them, why are these two plays not an assist? Can you definitively answer that question? And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 plays, 2 assists that were deemed not assists by someone. We don't know who that is, but we need to find out. If anyone that is worth their salt, they should put this person on Front Street. Put this person in front of a camera. They cannot justify this. They're going to have to correct the mistake and give Caitlin Clark the record. This is what the league, Sheila, you know who hates this the most? Sheila Johnson. Sheila Johnson. She hates this the most. She hates that in the 30 years that the W will be celebrating this year. In this category, 30 points, 2 assists happening twice in a whole career. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to understand this. This is in an entire career. No one has done this ever in their entire career. Sheila Johnson liked to talk about how the 28 years no one got their recognition, and now this all needs to change. No one had done this. Now imagine this. Finally, when someone does do it, they go and what's the word I'm looking for? They go and put it under a microscope to try and rob, intentionally, maliciously, egregiously rob a player of 2 assists. They would not do this to anyone else in the W. If this was a woman of color, do you think for a moment that this would be questioned? Let me say it again. If this were a woman of color, as Sheila Johnson likes to put it, do you think they would be questioning this issue? And if it did happen, let's just say hypothetically it did happen, do you think they would correct the mistake? They would make a public apology. They would put it all on TV and congratulate this person for being the first to have 30 points and 30 points and 10 assists twice in their career. Not in a season. Not in a season, ladies and gentlemen, in their career. No one has ever done this. No one has ever done this. But now we have a first. It just happens to be not their person that they want it to be. So the front office is not only gauging Kathy Engelbert, you got a problem. Your front office, you better clean this up, Kathy, because this looks like race, hate, and bigotry by the W front office, and it needs to be cleaned up and cleaned up PDQ. That's all I have for you right now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.